going, Seaton, but no, Bow picks it up again and Brock gets down the inside, tries to get down on the inside as Seaton says, see ya! And Brock is through on the inside to take away second spot. That puts Glenn Seaton back into third. Got off the starting line pretty quickly, but then faded. And back in the pack, they're all jumbled up with Scaife trying to clear cars. Through the dust, up to the left-hander, and right back on the tail of John Bow goes Peter Brock.
Well, you got to say, another brilliant start by John Bow. The pressure on him to do that 2 out of 2 is pretty damn good. You can't argue a ratio like that. Tremendous pressure to do it well the second time, and he did exactly that. But Brocky up into second spot. He'll be delirious. New set of tires.
As we saw in the first heat, Alan, very, very hard to overtake here. Brocky's got a gun position there. Second, he's in front of Seaton. What a critical position that is for him. I think these two are coming back through the field points-wise in the championship.
And also Neil Crompton, who got away brilliantly off fourth, didn't drop a spot. He's there at the head of Alan Jones. Then it's Dick Johnson and Jimmy Richards coming up through the pack. They come in to reel off the first. Bow, Brock, Seaton, and it's Neil Crompton. That's your front running four into the right-hander.
Just give them another lap to just really get settled down and get those tires some heat into them where they're up to almost operating temperature. And then Glenn Seaton's got to decide how many points he wants this afternoon.
Well, Crompton, great car setup on car 7, the new Coke Commodore in the first heat. Wayne Gardner, a slightly different chassis setup, and it was a bit hard on the tyres. We take GIO race cam aboard Neil Crompton's car, and here he is, right behind Glenn Seaton, battling for third and fourth position in the opening laps of this second heat.
Certainly not out of it by any stretch of the imagination when you can see John Bow virtually 3 lengths in front of you.
Well, look at his lap times in that opening heat. Very competitive with the leading bunch. Wayne Gardner a little less so. He's changed his suspension setup to the same as Crompton's. Hopefully he can come back through the field. But Crompton's obviously got a great setup on the car here today. Bow leads him across the start-finish line once again. Brock in second. Seaton in third. Crompton fourth. Alan Jones coming up behind the Coke car in fifth. Then it's Johnson, Jimmy Richards, Thomas Mazzera, Tony Longhurst and Wayne Gardner in the top 10.
The guy who must be absolutely down on himself at the moment is Glenn Seaton, who needed desperately to get into second spot, but you just can't do it from Winton. It's like the roller rink off the starting line to the first right-hander. So he's got not only John Bow still to contend with, even if he can bring the Bridgestones up, but he's got Brocky ahead of him, and that is not making life easier when you're chasing the championship and trying to dislodge the guy who's leading the race, who's leading the series, and the guy who's running second in the series, who's running second in the race.
Bridgestone Commodore and Bridgestone Falcon in a Dunlop sandwich here. John Bow well in control. Peter Brock in second. Glenn Seaton in third. Crompton drops a little back there at fourth. Alan Jones right on him. Johnson, Jimmy Richards, look how tight he's on a break at Crompton.
Glenn lunged it. He think he missed a gear. He just overcooked it. Threw that corner away. He was lunging at him.
This has overtones of last year, Alan. The critical stage of the championship when the pressure's on. Glenn has made another error, and that could be very, very costly. Race cam from the back of Neil Crompton's Coke Commodore shows it all. Alan Jones, a man not known for a lack of aggression in motorsport, is hanging onto the back of Crompton's car like glue.
Just look how stable these cars are. He's going through a left-hander there at near on 100k. Accelerating here certainly very quickly over the 150k mark. These cars are just rock steady. John Bow just recorded a slower lap time than his pursuers, and they really are closing the gap here. Brock's shut it down to 0.4 of a second that last time around.
This is nose to tail stuff now, you're right.
Oh, a little tap there from Crompton as he sneaks up the outside of Brock. Race cam shows you as he muscles in on the side of the mobile Commodore. Very physical there from Crompton. He's the man in a big hurry. The blinker's on. Brock might have got a bit flustered there when he got a tap.
He does. He throws the wheel around a lot and has picked up the blinker. He won't know it's on.
Brocky might have been many things, but flustered I don't think.
So Crompton right up behind Brock here through the twisty parts of the circuit. They come back toward pitch straight once again through the switchback.
Seaton has already picked up a couple of spots after dropping back. He's past Richards. Order still Bow, followed by Brock. It's getting tight then, as you can see, Crompton and Alan Jones. Well, Jones was unable to perfect the pass on Crompton in the first race. He's not going to be sitting around for 28 today to affect the second one.
No, he knows that corner. They've just come through there, GIO corner. He nailed on cars through there. Alan Jones very quick in that spot. He'll probably try and spring a surprise on Crompton in a few laps' time. The Neil up to the task. He's hassling Brock, and Brock equally not letting any ground get between him and John Bow.
John Bow still holding his style. He's been very stylish here all day, and hasn't missed a beat this afternoon. Still looking good as we're taking the rear view out of Neil Crompton's car. Alan Jones is feeling quite aggressive. He's been in this position all day long. I think he'll probably want to get rid of this red car in front of him.
Dick Johnson's not getting away behind him. Look, there's a real freight train collecting here. Bow in command for Brock, Crompton, Jones, Johnson. They're seated back into it. Jimmy Richards, Tony Longhurst, competitive run from him too. Mazura in the second of the HRT cars. Then it's Gardner, Scaife, Perkins in a train. Jones has another look down the inside of Crompton just to let him know he's having a serious look at him under brakes.
Here we go for another slam up the back straight. John Bow holding off Peter Brock, Neil Crompton.
Eventually Bow's opened that up a little bit more, so he takes a little cool one and then he floors it again and pulls 2 car lengths on Brocky. Jones probably appears to be the mover behind Crompton. Can't do much about it. Winton doesn't allow for too much passing.
Now this series of S's here on the approach to the back straight, Mike, makes it just about impossible to do anything but follow the leader, but that you have to do as closely as you possibly can. Alan Jones in there having a lunge through the corner. You can see laid back just a little bit, tried to run through the corner with a bit more speed, but the speed that the Coke cars have got this weekend, Mark, you'd have to say is really the most impressive we've seen them all season.
Certainly is. They're running with the leaders here. I mean, look at the company he's running. He's got Bow ahead of him. He's got Brock ahead of him. He's got Alan Jones behind him. So he's up in the championship teams here. 3rd position for Crompton now. 4th, Jones. Johnson hanging on in 5th position. Seaton in 6th. He's going gangbusters. He's doing quicker times than these guys in the front. He's taken another half a second out of them that time around. So he's fighting back onto the back of this bunch.
Well, Peter Brock is definitely making life a lot more difficult for John Bow in these opening laps of this heat than Glenn Seaton did. He's just a little bit closer, and certainly John will feel comfortable on his new set of Dunlops. He had a set he was able to save for this heat, only had a couple of laps on it, so he'll certainly know what he can do with them, and I'm sure they're going to get hammered right into the ground. Every ounce of goodness that ever came out of Kobe will be going out of them this afternoon.
Heat of the battle. Neil Crompton drives the Coca-Cola Commodore. You look like you're busy there, son.
Yes, I am a bit, Mike. How are you going?
Just excellent. You're having a hell of a race here.
So far, so good.
Car feel good?
Excellent.
Engine strong?
Fantastic. Rob Benson done a brilliant job for us all year.
Continue to have a good race. Talk to you later.
See you.
If you're looking at the issue of parity, I guess the Ford appears just to have a little edge over the Commodore here today at Winton.
I think that's a John Bow edge, Mike, honestly. He is so focused on winning his first Australian Touring Car Championship. He's been in motor racing in Australia for a number of years. This is a jewel that has eluded him. He's won Bathurst with Dick Johnson a couple of times, but every driver of substance, you're looking at me with that crossed look again.
I'm looking at you like
we should have
Falcon.
cameras in here for the ladies and gentlemen at home, and if they could see the looks you're giving me.
I just try to work out whether you're a
I'm
Ford
stating
man.
a factor that...
Talking about Fords, here's Glenn.
Dickie Johnson's
you don't
gone
see
right
that
through.
very often.
No, Dickie spun himself, actually.
Bit of a touch there as Seaton squeezed through on GIO corner. Johnson's looped it around. He's off the track, obviously. Gets a bit of wheel spin, try and get back into the action.
Careful, Dick. That's going to...
Look at that on the Tooheys Blue replay. Bang.
Hang on, a bit
Now,
quick that.
Johnson.
We might get one at normal speed later, but it was pretty quick.
Winds on the lock. Out of action.
Well, that's spoiled Dick's afternoon.